Hello and welcome to the February 2024 Cherrybrook Property Market Update. Here I am again, Angelo Lambropoulos of Saliba Estate Agents, about to present to you what happened in February. So I'll get straight into it. For the month of February, there were 13 registered home sales. The median price amongst those sales was sitting at $2,455,000. The highest sale was sitting at $3,265,000, and the average days on market were sitting at 18. The registered home sales for the previous month being a total of, I touched on this in the previous video, but for those of you that didn't watch it, there only was one registered home sale with the median price being $2,250,000 and obviously the highest sale price being 2.25 as well, with the average days on market sitting there at 11. So to summarize those results there, the sales volumes are up by 12 in comparison to the previous month, and it's one sale down from this time last year. The median price among home sales is up by 9.1% from last month. Just the caveat, the asterisk I put to that though is we don't have accurate data to go with from the previous month because it was only one registered home sale, but nevertheless, that's what it was. And a bit more, obviously more thorough and more accurate would be the recording of what happened in comparison to February 2023, in which case February 2024 is up by 5% from February 2023. And I will surmise those results in a second. The average days on market currently sit at 18 days in comparison to 11 days, which was January. Now, getting to the auction results, so obviously there was a booming activity as far as auctions were concerned for Cherrybrook in February. So there were 9 registered auctions. Of those 9 registered auctions, 4 had sold at auction, 3 of which had sold prior, and 2 had either been passed in or rescheduled for another point, which is essentially withdrawn. The auction clearance rates, therefore, were sitting at 44.4%. If you include those that sold prior, was sitting at 77.8%. So, close to 80%. So success rate when you're looking at the auction campaign there. Now, I guess from a general standpoint, what's interesting, I'll go to the registered home sales of February 2023 first, and then I'll get into it just quickly. I won't bore you to death. I'll keep it short and sweet. So going to the registered home sales for February last year, right? So there were 14 registered home sales compared to the 13 that we had this February. The median price was $2,337,500 compared to $2,455,000 this time in February. The average days on market back then was sitting at 21, where it's currently sitting at 18 now. The highest sale recorded was at 3.1 back in February 2023, with the highest sale recorded being 3.265 million for February this year. Keeping in mind that the $3 million mark is becoming a lot more frequent and regular in Cherrybrook now, which is not surprising. So the other interesting note to make on that, the official cash rate at the point of February 2023 was sitting at 3.35%, okay, versus the 4.35% in which we're sitting at at the moment. So that's an extra 1%. Well, obviously you look at the basis points, an extra 1%, right? So it's quite a significant amount higher. But interestingly, interest rates haven't had any effect on the Cherrybrook property market. Not to toot my own horn, but that's what I sort of anticipated and suspected would happen. And for those of you that have been following me for quite some time, will realize that that's true. And the reason I've been saying this for the first timers that have just tuned in and just getting familiar with my Cherrybrook property updates, it's based on the fact that there's very low household debt in Cherrybrook. It's a baby boomer suburb with over 80% of the suburb made up of owner occupiers. It's not predominantly an investor suburb where investors predominantly were the ones that sadly were hit as a result of these the interest rate hikes, okay? Because a lot of them not being able to afford to keep them, having to offload them. Whereas in Cherrybrook, it was more a case of, if you want my property, you'll pay for it because I don't really need to sell. And that's simply put, it's supply and demand, okay? So that pretty much sums up the February 2024 Cherrybrook property market update in a nutshell. If there's anything else you'd like covered or anything I've sort of touched on briefly in this video that you would like to discuss with me in further detail, my details are just up here. Also in the comments, in the description section of the YouTube video, I will put a link for those of you that may be interested in a free market appraisal with our office, in which case we'd be more than happy to assist you to give you a better understanding of where your property sits in the current market. Obviously, nobody's got a crystal ball. Nobody knows what the future holds, but more than happy to have a chat and perhaps some opinions on what could happen there for those of you that are on the fence of whether you're looking to sell, hold, lease, or whatever it may be, or just want to have a general discussion to see what your property is worth. We're more than happy to help. So that's it for me. From me, apologies. Thank you for watching. I look forward to doing this again, March, or next month, really, March. So it'll be on the first Friday of March, of course. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope this has been helpful.